God, I completely missed your message. Completely missed your message. I was like, oh, maybe she's not free. And I didn't notify. I was like lost in the Instagram world. And I was like, let me just open WhatsApp and see what. And here's like a Zoom meeting. Like I was like, let me just hop in right now. I don't want to miss this. Hi.
Hi. I
Oh my
love your I'm free, miraculously.
Yeah, let's be. I actually, because when you texted me back then, I had a couple of things. Like I was supposed to talk to Thomas. I was going to watch something with my brother, and I was like, I wanted to talk to you. I was like, okay, maybe later, maybe after that, because then cause you're awake, like it's your morning. But then he canceled. He had to do something else. My brother was not in the mood to watch something, so I was like, oh, that means that I get to talk now. Oh my God. How are you? I've been thinking about you for like since a while now. I was like watching your YouTube, the new thing
The
that
new
you've done,
podcast.
Slam the Door sessions. It's
Yeah.
like, I watched the last one also with the music. And I'm so excited right now, as you can see.
I
I'm
know.
just all over the place. How are you?
I love how life, especially, because you've known me through quite a bit. And it's just always so exciting, right? It's just always, guess what?
Yeah. How is it like that always? I mean, I'm funny that you're recording it. I was like the first few minutes of this is just me going, ah. Oh my God. Like the last session that you just made, the music one, it just clicked with me. It resonated because I recently watched a video about music and sound, and I was so enjoying learning about it in a new perspective with vibration and all of that. And I was like, wow, this is so in sync that this person is talking about. And I love that way you were like, slam the door, something that she was talking about mathematics in school or whatever. And then you were like, oh, we didn't warn you that we're gonna slam the door. I was like,
By the
that is
way, we're
that
still
is
trying
so
to
Christian.
find a sound effect. So we can just slam the door.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Oh, that was so good. That was so classic Christian. You're like, sorry. I'm sorry. I need you to like come up here where I see your brilliance and I don't hear your stories. Oh my God, that was so good.
No, I'm so glad it's because there's always that part of me that's like, that was a little mean, Kristen. But I'm like, you know what? Sorry. And yet it all comes from that Abdullah story where he was always slamming the door on Neville. And Neville's like, I got all this is going really good, but I still have this. And Neville's like, what are you talking about? You already got to slam the door. And I love that, I'm giving myself that permission, to be non-negotiable, non-fucking negotiable. This is my ideal. And it all comes back to you last year at this time going, nobody's asking you to compromise.
Yeah.
Nobody. And in fact, I even did a video on that, which I'm not putting up, but it was just me chatting. But it really, it's just a repeat. I'm also not compromising anymore on repeating myself in my videos. I don't want to repeat anymore. I'm like going, why do I repeat? I don't want to repeat anything. And so that's why I deleted the video, which was fine. But it really is, because this morning I'm on eBay, and it's funny because these things kind of don't have anything to do with each other, but they do. So I'm on eBay and I have this conditioner I just love. And I'm trying to find it. And number one, it's not coming up in the size. And then when I do find it, it's outrageously expensive. And I'm like, no, that's not my ideal. So I just shut it down, right? And it's so nice to say no. And then I'm on Amazon getting some other stuff. And as I'm checking out, the total is $0. And I'm like, why is my total $0? And then it says, oh, you've used $63 of your $150 gift card. And I'm like, what gift card? What gift card? And I'm looking it up because I'm already going, yeah, that's fine. But I want to see where this came from. no idea where this came from. There's no like somebody gave it to you or anything like that. It's actually $160 something gift card. And I'm like going, I didn't return anything. Wow. I don't understand. Yeah. So anyway, I'm just like, out of thin air money, free money. Nice.
Wow.
I know, but for me, it was that because I'm stepping so much into that non-negotiable, for me, it was just a thumbs up on that. It was just like, yeah, this is who you are. You get out of thin air money all the time. It's not a big deal.
Absolutely normal. Like this is, of course, this happened. I just remembered like last week or a couple of days ago, I just thought of you because of something very similar, not like $160, but one of my favorite like coffees that I brought from Germany that was getting over. So I was going to have my last cup of coffee from that, is roasted coffee powder, whatever you want to say. And then it was getting over. I was like, it's okay. I can, buy coffee from India and I can find you brewers and whatever. And then, and I kind of made my peace with that. I didn't do the slam door session, but I was like, it didn't matter. I went to make chai in the evening, and that was also getting over. So I went to the cabinet where there's usually a packet of chai and all the supplies, and then I opened something, and there was this brand new packet of the same coffee from Germany, like a whole brand new, untouched. I was like, what? Where did this come from? What is? It was just magical, and I was so excited. And in the moment where I was trying to make sense of it, there was like this very distant memory that at some point I got it, or maybe Thomas, when he visited, he got it and had kept it here. But it was the same thing. Like when you create that memory to maybe justify it, because you say, like, it was the purple bike or pink bike, like, one of the persons that you spoke to who said, you had the pink bike. But it was like, oh, maybe I did. I remember vaguely, but like I just had this moment of like this whole clarification that it's right here. I created it. I generated it. And then I also kind of generated the memory to try to make sense of it. Yes. And this was what I have to tell you. I was
just like, oh my God. And I that's exactly it. And what you were talking about is when my friend was like going, oh yes, when you were a child, you had a bike like this. Yeah. And I was like, how did you know that? And she's like, well, here.
I just made that up.
Yeah. What if you never had that until I just suggested it? And it's just like, oh, wow. And I think once we start accepting out of thin air, we stop needing that little justification, Yeah. Then we can just be like, oh, look what I did. And it just, no big deal. Instead of needing a reason why it's there to fit into my nice little reality world. No, magic world.
I love that you're saying that, because now things are just kind of, as you said, they don't seem related, but they are making sense together. Another one of those things which was really exciting, but now I feel like I can put it in this, it makes more sense here. Wednesday or so, like I had been announcing about my workshop for a while, and I had, gotten registrations and responses and everything from people that I kind of knew, some people who have previously worked with me, some people who know me, some friends and everything. And then this one fine day, I don't know if I did something, whatever, it's not about the cause and effect. I opened my Instagram thing, and suddenly, I don't know if I felt inspired, but you have these message requests. So you have your primary messages, your general messages, and there's this third, like people you don't know, you're not connected with.
Yes.
Suddenly, like it popped up that there are 3 message requests from like 4 days ago. And there are these random 2 people who reach out to me. They're like, hey, one of my friends really recommended me your page and I wanted to connect with you for a session. Another person was like, oh my God, I'm so glad that I found your page and I really want to, join the workshop right now. And I don't know these people at all. And the craziest thing is that Instagram always notifies me if there's a message request. And these have been sitting there, or maybe they just got generated there since like 4 days ago. I just noticed and I was like, what? How? Where did this come from? But again, out of thin air, of course. Like this.
I know.
I don't know them. I don't know these people. Also, like, I'm also playing with that, like getting used to the fact that that's the norm. We generate, we create, or whatever. It's just, it's coming out of
Well,
thin
that's
air.
like your very first client, that guy who was just like,
Yeah.
I got to work with you now. I got to work with you now. And you're like, I don't even have anything up, you know?
Yeah. Give me at least, let's start next week, please, or something like. But yeah, of course, it's like, oh, this is so fun.
You know, and it's so good, because this is exactly what happened this morning. Is I was like going, I love doing my own little videos and stuff, but I'm so beyond that. I'm just like going, now that's the repeat. And I was like, what do I want to do this morning? And I'm like going, what would I be non-negotiable about? And I'm like, I want to talk with Sanjula. And
really? Oh my God.
You know, because of all the people I talk to, you are far and away my absolute most favorite goddess. I mean, you are. You absolutely, we always, whenever I need to hold up an example of what I want, how I want to feel, the people I want to interact with, what my team needs to be like, it's you. You are my little, this is what they got to rise to. This is what it's got to be like. And if it's not, then I'm like going, cool, it's not my ideal. All right. I love that. I have my little scale. It's got to be Sanjula.
I love this. I love this so much. Like, everything about this makes so much sense. And something we were talking about, like one of our conversations, that, the version of you that I create in my life, like I was a different version in the morning, and somehow I became this version, and now this makes sense for us to have this conversation. Like, I just I kept getting better, like feeling better and better and more excited, like more like, and my energy now is like this. And of course I talk to you. Of course it's like it has to be a match, and of course everything just clears up, like things that I had previously like. And of course, because you've decided that's my non-negotiable. I'm going to slam the door on that one. Got it, Sanjula. Sanjula has to get ready to talk to you, and everyone else has to, like, move away. And here I am. Of course. Of course. Oh my God.
Exactly. It's that state. You shift into the state of this or the state of that. And it's like did I ever tell you the story? Neville Goddard has a story about two of his clients where they were like totally non-negotiable. They had a lot of land they wanted to build on.
Yeah.
Did I tell you the story?
I don't know if it's the same I've heard from someone else, but yeah, go ahead. Don't know.
I'll do it real short. So basically these people went to one of his, he always taught in a church. He was like, like a pastor, but he taught his own way. And what he was talking to them about was being non-negotiable for your ideal. It's like, this is what my ideal looks like. And if it comes any other way, no, you don't acknowledge, that's compromise, right? And so this great couple, they had a huge piece of property that they really wanted to build an apartment building on, but they had no money left. They had their savings, and their thing is, we do not get into our savings. And if they'd gotten into their savings, they could have done this, but they're like, no. So they're like, okay, let's try this technique of Neville's where you envision it's already built, and even walking through it. And then they took it a step further. They envisioned having the residents, the people who live there in each little apartment, and what they were like, and what kind of people they were, so they just totally got into this dream. Well, they had seen some billboards of a famous builder, and they could have reached out, but they're like, nah, it's already built. We don't need to reach out to this guy because it's already built. And so sure enough, this guy walks into their other business, and it's this guy. And he goes, I don't do this. He goes, but for some reason, I felt the impulse to walk into your building here. And I want to tell you, that lot over there, I would love to see you guys build a nice apartment building on it. And they're like going, oh yeah, we really want to do this. But we just don't have the money. And he goes, well, I'll tell you what. He goes, if you hire me and he gave them a certain price that was much lower than the average. He goes, I'll do this with you. And they're like, oh, the door on that. Yeah. And they're like, oh, thank you. And he left. But their thing is, it's already built. Why would we pay him so many money when it's already built? So 2 or 3 days later, he comes back. And he goes, listen, I found a lender who will lend you the money to do this.
Wow.
And they're like going, you know, it's like, it's even getting better and better. And they're like, oh, well, thank you. We'll let you know. But as he left, which was really hard for them, they're like, it's already built. Why would we get out money when it's already built? It's still not their ideal. So then like a week later, he comes back again and he goes, I can tell you what, I'm going to pay for it all. Nothing out of your pockets. I'm going to pay for it all. And you can pay me back out of your net profits when you get people to live in the building. Wow. Now they said yes, of course. Now they're like, okay, yes, you know, and it's, you know, but they were so non-negotiable. They weren't compromising at all, you know, and I love this story. It's a great, great story. It's out of his book, The Law and the Promise.
I heard it from someone on the YouTube channel and I loved it so much, but I wanted to hear it from you. Like I wanted to hear, like I had this, like I created that memory that I remember the story, but I wanted to hear it again. I love it. Like they were so non-negotiable. They were like slamming the door on the perfect architect or builder, whoever it was, like, oh, because it was already done.
It's already done. And you know, it's like me living here, this, you know, it was only supposed to be till Christmas, right? We're way past Christmas. And not only, you know, am I still here, but they reached out to me the other day. They gave me a raise and they said I can stay here as long as I need.
Did you see the thumbs up that just popped up?
I know. It does that.
I had no idea. You said
if my hand is waving around, it goes, it'll put up a hand or give me a thumbs up or whatever. And I love it.
It was like a sign, like you were like, they gave me a raise and Zoom was like, yay. Good for you.
I know. I've gotten so used to that now, but it's funny. But so it's cool because not only do I not pay to live here, you know, no bills, nothing. It's totally free. The most beautiful place in this little county, but I'm getting paid to live here.
You're getting paid to live there. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And, you know, going, oh yeah, yeah, you know, here. And it's always, you know, when I first got here and I was sitting there talking with you and you're like, you're just staring at the birds.
Yeah.
And you know, and I'm like going, I love living here, but I don't want to have to work. And you're like, well, nobody's asking you to. And I'm just like going, yeah, exactly. For the past, you know, I don't know, 6 months or so, I don't do anything. I only, like you said, I only go out there and work in the yard if I feel like it. And I got all the pretty flowers.
This happened just today again. Of course, I don't know, it's so aligned, or it's again this memory I'm creating, whatever's happening in the morning today. I was taking care of a lot of things, household chores, and then I was like, oh, I have to water the plants. And then I thought, the thought came to my mind that, well, I don't have to do this, but I want to do this. Like, it's in your house, you want to water the plants because you like that, you want to like take that time and just spend time with the nature because you want to do it, you want to, you know, take care of your plants. And again, it reminded me of exactly that conversation, that you're taking care of the garden because you want to. It's like in your own house, at your own home, you just want to like walk around and water it or do whatever, like, because it's your place and you feel like doing it. That's it. It's not like a chore, it's not a task. It's because it's your house, you want to do it.
Yes.
You feel like doing it.
You know, and it is, oh my gosh. So yeah, they just recently reached out to me saying that the state of California, and especially this area, is saying they only want people to use 55 gallons of water per person per property. And they showed us how much we used last year during the highest part of our watering times, which was about 1,800 gallons per day.
Wow.
That's how
per day. Oh my God.
Per day. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I was sitting here going, okay, we need to cut back. So how much, you know, how can I maintain this property and cut back? And I was figuring it out. And in my mind, I went, well, 500 gallons per day would be about right. That would be about right for me. So the owners sent me the letter they got, you know, saying how much we're allowed to use. And I'm sitting there reading through the letter and I see the 55 gallons per, person per day.
Yeah.
And then down at the bottom, it said, what did it say? I can't remember, but it ended up equaling 500 gallons a day is allowed before you're going to get charged. I know. And I went,
Of course. Of course.
I know.
I mean, when you stop getting surprised, like it's like,
I know,
it's always like that. And you decided that.
And this is something I'm working with the people in the podcast is we have had the experiences where you have somebody who's down here and you do the processes and you get them up here, and this too. It's exciting. It's fun to watch somebody's face lighting up when they get it right. And so we're kind of like discussing this, going, well, we like this, and I'm kind of like going, that's repeat. It's a repeat. I don't want to repeat. I want to just be up here. I don't want to do this roller coaster thing anymore. Yeah. I want to know what it's like. I know I'm already there, but I can go even higher. So it's like, I want to know what it's like just to steady be up here, not to need somebody to be fighting for their limitations and then give them an example of something to do and then they get it. I've been there. I've done that 1,000 times. I don't need to do that anymore. I want to know what it's like just to be up here. And that's part of the slamming door. So I'm like, oh, I get to slam the door. When people want to play.
Yeah.
Even, we had a lady the other day that kept saying 3D. And I'm like, the 3-dimensional reality. And I'm like, will you stop that? And I said, that's a freaking cop-out. And I'm like, quit it. Quit giving a name to it. Quit being like, oh, when I'm in the 3D, you're not in the 3D. You're never in the 3D. I don't tolerate it. I don't see it. You're never in the 3D. There is no 3D. What are you talking about? And it's kind of fun. It's unknown, and it's kind of like, ooh, I know it's got to be more fun and more better.
Kristen, you're like, again, you just blow my mind. Like I'm so glad whatever you are. I can't even describe it. Again, there's no words to describe it. I feel like an energy flowing through me. Like I'm sitting here like this. I don't know. I feel like some energy moving through my palms. I don't know what's happening. I'm like, you have to receiving. Like it just feels so good.
I love that.
Because you are the portal for that space, that energy that you're talking about. That this is where it is. I'm staying here. I'm non-negotiable. I just need you here, and that's it.
Yeah.
And I think you've like physically, whatever, vibrationally changed the people around you who are talking to you, because I can feel it that I everything today moved me in the direction to talk to you where you are at. Like it's crazy. It's powerful.
Yeah. And then to move into the space of, wait a minute, I generated this. I generated this whole thing. And just being blown away by yourself, always bringing it back to you. That's been a big lesson for me recently, is always bringing it back to me, and like if I get a letter or something in the mail, which I don't anymore, but if I did, and it's from another person, instead of thinking about that other person and what's going on with them and how do I do that? No, just bring it back to me. What kind of letter do I want to receive from this person? What kind of letters have I received before from this person that are friend? And then just go there. It's just constantly that non-negotiable. No, I don't acknowledge that. I'm not available for that. What am I available for? And thanks for saying that. That was fun.
It is. Like I was also kind of feeling like how I generated that. Like this totally made sense. It's like, this feels so good that I created that this is happening in this moment. But I love that you have become that space, that kind of like star is too small, that supernova, like those words, basically that space which is so fixed, because you're not fixed, but you're always expanding. Like you're not kind of like, what is the thing that you said? Yesterday's epiphany is today's
Yeah.
like,
Is today's playing it small.
you're playing it very small. So you're like again somewhere else altogether. And again, that's the place that you're always at the beyond the leading edge. I love that. And I love the people that you are playing with as well on, the podcast. I don't know where do you see yourself going from here? Like, it's just, what is the next crazy expansion?
You're so funny. You totally, you know what? You dictate what's going on in my mind. I'll be thinking something while you're talking, and then I can just ask a question that led right to it, what I was already thinking about. That's so funny. You do that. You've always done that. I was looking at how you're setting up your workshop, and I'm like, crave. I'm like, oh, I need to do this. I want to do this. This is my space. And then I start going, and then I was like, okay, how? The minute a how comes in, I know I'm playing with a lie. This thing's like, did you raise your hand? No, stop it. I know I'm playing, and not a lie so much to say, but that works for me. And one of the things that one of the girls in the group says, she goes, no hows, only wows. Only wows. No hows, only wows. And so I immediately caught that. I was going, ooh, how is Sanjula doing this? And then I went, no, this is not my ideal, because I hear a how. And so I'm like, okay, so what is my ideal? My ideal is that I do fucking nothing. And it all comes to me. People are calling me for guest speaking events, interviews. It's already all set up. All I have to do is show up, and that's it. And I'm like going, yes. And that's what this podcast is. These two ladies I'm working with, I told them, I'm like, I just want to show up. You guys do it all. I just want to show up. And that's exactly what I manifested two very good IT chicks that know how to create this and create that. And I just show up. And and right away I'm seeing this and I'm going, yeah.
Only wows. Like, just...
no hows, only wows. And it really, I go back to that clip I sent you of, what's her face?
Amanda or?
No, starts with an S. She was just in my bod mind group.
Yeah. You shared a story as well, no?
Yes.
Or you
Shreya.
Yeah. Shreya.
Where she was so high. It was so
Oh,
awesome
yeah.
to watch that. Oh my God, to watch her go so high and her to go, I just wanted to say, can we skip over the lecture, just go to dancing and singing? And I'm like, yes. There it is.
Yeah. And that's like the Shreya I knew is again like sweet and oh my God, okay, that's really nice and everything. But she's like just like slamming the door on everything. Now let's just party, like guys, let's just party. And she's talking about perky boobs and whatnot. Like it's like wow. I was like, yes, Shreya, yes.
Yes,
oh my
bold.
God.
There's that bold. We talk a lot about that, being bold, being so bold that, there's a part of you going, are you sure? And oh my gosh, when I heard her on WhatsApp going, hey, I'm curvy and I have perky boobs, and I'm like, did she just say perky boobs? And I rewound and I'm like, she did, sure. And I love it. I love that she knew it. She was just like, let's bypass all this and just skip to the good stuff. Let's go to the dancing. Let's go to the singing. And I was like, yeah. And I'm just like, that's the bottom line right there, darling. Yeah. That was it. I was just like, that was so good. It was so good. And she had put up Megan Trainor's, one of her songs.
If I
was you, I'd wanna be me too.
Exactly.
I'm like, oh, it was so good. It was so good. And I was like, yeah, that's
I love that you did that. You did that. You brought her right there to the highest expression. Oh my God. And again, that's just, I don't know where she is now. Like if she could just, oh my God.
I know. She kind of disappeared on us. And that was fine. It was fine because, it's like, that's the you I see. And yes, those whooshes, seeing somebody shift like that from one state to another state is exciting. But to only know her at that state, never to see anybody as broken, I got to fix them, none of that. Just everybody is God's, and to have that God chat going on, it's just like, wow, what, nothing's broken, nothing needs to be fixed, nothing needs to be discussed. It's just like you and I do, the tennis match, the fun little tennis match. Just like when you're dancing with somebody, you're not sitting there critiquing them or saying they're broken. Yeah. You guys are just dancing together.
Or trying to learn or something. It's just happening. It's just flowing. You just know, one is leading, the other one follows, and the other, whatever. Like, it just is happening so naturally. There's no how involved. I love that you said that. Like, I noticed as well, the moment it goes to how, it becomes a bit more, in my mind, a cerebral, and okay, it's just like, oh, no. No. Exactly. I don't want to play with that. Today, again, it was such a good, like, in India, when it rains, it's just celebrated because, it gets hot in the, it was beautiful today. It was beautiful. It was an amazing weather, and I just got so excited. It was so fun, and we went out. I played badminton, went for a walk, and it just kept getting better and better and better. And at some point, I was like, okay, I should maybe do something. I was like, I don't want to. I just don't want to. And everything just panned out perfectly. Like, one thing led to the other and the other. I didn't have to think about how do I make the most of this amazing, feeling that I have right now. Do I do this? Like, I didn't have to think about it. It just happened. And here I am talking to you. Like, it just know how, only, you don't know how, only how. I love that.
I know. Isn't it amazing? I love it. And I love that you're saying, there's no, because sometimes we do get that high feeling, and how do I hold on to it? How do I maintain it? How do I get back here? All that house, it's like, stop. Just
wow. Like, even right now, I'm thinking nothing. I'm just like thinking nothing. I don't want to think at all. I just want to like be here and savor it and just enjoy it and cherish it. Oh my God.
It really, and I was saying the other day, you can't be any less God. And that's kind of been my little saying lately, is it's like, you can't be, you can watch the worst horror slasher negative feeling movie, and you can't be less God. It's not going to change you being a God, the God you are. It can't. It's not possible. And I used to play a lot with, well, you can if you want. And I just yesterday, I was like, no more wiggle room, no more excuses, no more cop-outs. It's just, no, you can't play any less God, and just boom, leave it there and see what arises from that. Again, non-negotiable, because it was easy for me to say, well, you can if you want. I mean, I don't know why you do, but you can if you want. And I love moving into the space of, no, you don't. I don't see you playing that. I don't ever see you playing anything but the God you are. And it's just magical. It's so wonderful and delights. And, from the moment you wake up in the morning, the moment you pop open your eyes, there's a wow right there, whether it's a thought or whatever, there's a wow. And then your day just gets better and better until you go to bed so satisfied and so ready to snuggle into the best, most comfy bed ever, because tomorrow's going to do it again.
So nice. Oh my God. I can't wait to go to sleep now. Again, I don't feel sleepy at all. It's going to be 1 a.m. Oh, Kristen. Oh my.
I always do this to you. You don't need any chai. You just talk to me.
Exactly. I don't need chai for days. I don't need chai or any coffee. I have you. But I feel like this is all I want. Like, this is what we want anyway. Like, we never want to play with anything smaller. This is like, it's always like, can I just skip to the good part and feel this way anyway? Like, I know I'm God. I just want to be like this. I want to feel I am this. Like, it's just like, No excuses. Let's just be here. Let's just stay here.
And and moving into the space of I am, and I've always been this way. Oh my God. So I was listening to an old recording from the mastermind I was in, and it was back in January. We were doing, every week we had our call, and I told her, I said, when we first started the mastermind, we had the intention, okay, now it's March 2022, and you're looking back at the last 3 months. How have you changed? And my writing down was that I didn't want to recognize myself. I just a whole different person. I didn't even want to recognize myself, which was a little scary to say, but I was like, yeah, I'm ready for that. Yeah. And it wasn't just a few weeks later that we're talking about something, and I'm like going, I don't recognize myself. I'm like, I wake up in the morning and I'm thinking completely differently, and I can see that juxtaposition. I can see that. And now, because from there, you're always saying, well, no. I've always been this way. I've always been this driven. I've always been this powerful. I've always been this way. And now when I was listening to that recording, I couldn't even understand it. I'm like going, what was I saying that I've changed? I haven't changed. And then I realized I was going, oh, I said I've always been this way. So apparently I'm there now. And it works, it happens. And now I can't even remember what it was I was talking about, who I was talking about. I can't remember any other way. I just
know this person. I've only known this person. Like, even I'm trying to make sense of it, that I think it's because of the shift that you've had, that this is what I have always known. Because it's not just you that knows that this is who I've always been, but I think everyone around you is only going to say that that's who I've always known Kristen to be. That's who you've always been.
Yeah, because there's no more cha-cha. There's no more playing this Kristen, that Kristen. No, this is who I am. And that's like, even, I'll see some of those posts on Instagram or whatever, and I'm always like, what are you talking about? What's gonna happen? It is. But I've gotten much better about going, isn't it wonderful that we don't have to do anything?
I know your tone. I know what you're saying. I know what you're doing. I was like, I love that. I love that always. I love that.
Yeah, I was just shutting the door, not slamming the door.
Like, let's just slide this one.
Just a nice gentle shut. Of going, isn't it wonderful? And just shutting down that BS. And because it's my way of, here's another part of me that I'm ready to be done with. So I just, and it's my way of taking her and throwing her in the 6-foot hole, deep hole.
Oh, I love that when you said that. I think it was in your own YouTube video. It was like a 13-minute long video. I don't know what you were saying, but you said something about, I had this thought, and then I was like, oh, like the way you said it, like I dug her a grave and then
dug her and put up a headstone. Yeah.
Yeah, put up a headstone, exactly.
Dead, bury that old man. Yes. Yeah. And it really is my way of just letting me know, oh, here's still another area, and I can just let it go by and not even see it anymore, which is actually what's happening. Or I can just make some little comment, because it just feels good. It feels good to give somebody a different way of thinking, of seeing, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You can just smile and have fun. Skip to the good stuff. Just dance.
Oh my God, Kristen, you're a powerhouse. This is so good. This is so good. I mean, I think in the last call as well, I told you, like, you are this source of this godhood, like people who want to just be in that, be that. They get to talk to you, or they get to be in your vibration or be around you. That's a space where they can just be their God selves. Like, if they, anyone who wants to just be and stay and grow in that God self, this is the source. This is the place. This is the lighthouse. This is, you are that.
Yeah.
I don't know. You change. I think you transform people around you to be that God self. And I remember a certain Kristen. Don't think she's there anymore. She's somewhere buried.
She's in a cemetery.
Yeah, one of those many, 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 tombstones. But I remember in Abraham Fun where you would be like, "Oh, I see you light up, and that's fun. Let's talk about where you lit up there." And now you're just like, that's all that you're about. That is it.
Yeah.
There's no like, oh, that one moment, and you're like, that's it. That's who you are. No more.
When Shreya said that, when she's just like, it was just, it's so wonderful to think that, but to hear that come out of somebody's mouth, especially like Shreya, who's kind of quiet. She wasn't being quiet. And for her to say that, can we just skip over the lecture and just go to singing and dancing? Because I'm already
I love that. I love
I
that.
know.
When she said, can we just skip the lecture? It's just dance. I was like, wow, she just got it.
She was like going, she was saying something, she's like, fuck that. And I have to like, Shreya. It's Shreya. And she said it multiple times.
Yeah. And in her sweet voice and the way she talks, but she was like, fuck that. And
I know.
Can we just like, I loved it. I loved all of that. Oh my God.
And that is just, that's that reflection back to me of yes, yes. This is, you and your happiest and your most joyful and your, most excited little kid. And just, I loved that. That was just like, so it was a dream come true right in front of me, seeing that person be that way in my mind's one thing, but to see it right there, hearing it, and even better, way better, because I had never imagined her saying fuck that. Oh my gosh. Yeah. She just, and I love getting a glimpse of that godhood, right? Just getting that little crack, right through the crack, and then holding that, and just not hard or anything, just really embracing it, just going, oh, I love that. That was so much fun. And, again, is that bringing it back to me, like if something negative is coming up, maybe an old conversation or whatever, knowing that I had a good conversation somewhere with that person, somewhere I've had a great conversation, and then finding that, how that made me feel. Not how did it make me feel when they were mean, how did it make me feel when we were having a great conversation like you and I are doing, where I didn't want it to end. And then just going there and seeing the immediate shift in reality from that, always bringing it back to self.
I feel like it's on a cellular level. Like I feel the shift on a cellular level. Like there's something happening, and that Sanjula has gone away. There's a different Sanjula altogether. And I don't know about you, but like in this moment, the God self, it just has, I didn't have to do anything. I just had to be in this conversation with you. How powerful is that? How powerful are you? How powerful am I to create you, to create this? Like, how powerful are we?
Yes.
How powerful am I?
Yes, there you go. There's my girl. Yeah. To sit there and go, that Sanjula that was like, I did that. That person wanted to commit suicide. I did that. That person had this going on. I fixed that. To that version of you who's just like, you had your cape going and everything.
Just like
exactly. To the rescue.
It didn't make sense to me. How does the world not like know or pray or like celebrate every day that I exist? Like, what the hell? Oh my God.
Yeah, because you were. And then you started doing it, and it was like, holy cow, my reality is changing. And it's such a powerful space to be in, that when somebody is blowing you away, and you're just like and I always receive all that good, yummy, compliments and adoration. I love it. But to turn it back on yourself and go, wait a minute, this person's blowing me away. And I did that. I generated that. And just going, yep.
I did this to the shift that's happening, the cellular shift, as I was talking about. I am doing this. I love that so much. I think how powerful we are. Oh my God. And I know it's not about the cause and effect, but there was like a certain shift in myself where I was just like, I am just going to enjoy myself and savor this day and just, I imagine myself. I was in the room and I just imagined myself laying on the grass and like, like now it feels like it's too old. It's like it's not even matching up to where I am right now. I'm just so happy right now in this moment. I'm like, oh, I feel like so powerful.
It I love that you're just like talking about how powerful we can go, because I think I told you about this shirt. This is that 4x4x48 that I did the Goggins. That whole thing was just one magical, amazing wow after another, including this shirt that just showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah. You were looking for you to have your laundry or something like that, and you were looking for something to wear.
I was trying to buy one, and nobody had them anymore. And the guy who I had ordered this from, it kept not arriving. They're like, well, let's find, we're going to find it, and it just kept being a hassle. And I moved into the space of, no, I'm not available for that. And I walked back in, there it is sitting right on top of the washing machine. And I'm like going, what the fuck? And then just going, okay, can you show off anymore? But it really, this is so much the reminder to me that when I move into the space of being done, I've already done it. This is, just, you don't have to do it all the time. You don't have to stay there. You don't have to live there. You don't have to do anything. It's just fun. It's fun to transport yourself forward in time to where I did it and I crushed it and I killed it. And then see what the heck arises from that. It is just, it's like somebody giving you, like Jack and the Beanstalk, super seeds, and just throw them in and you get to see what happens. And it's just like that. It's just, when I walk around this house, I don't see these walls. I see the house that I know I'm in. I know it. And I see that house. I see those windows. I feel the temperature of that house. And I feel the floor under my feet, what that floor feels like. And I feel the bed. And it's just like, oh God, I got to show you my room. And it's just, it's such a wondrous place to be. And who knows what, where is going to happen? Yeah. Just doing it. So, ooh. Right? I definitely have a type. Isn't that amazing? I know. And it was so funny because I had my house. I've shown you the picture of the kitchen. I have that. But I was always like, what's the bedroom going to look like? I haven't figured out what the bedroom's going to look like yet. And pictures would come. And I'd be like you guys say, nay. I'd be just like, nah.
Yeah.
And nay.
Yeah.
And this picture showed up. And the other pictures that would pop up were like, yeah, I kind of like that ceiling, but not that window. This picture came up with the whole damn thing. I was like, oh, there's my room. I knew it was going to be better than I could think. And I'm just like, oh, there she is. It's all, and so cool because it's all coming together. It's all coming together in its own way. And I'm just like, so when I'm in my bed here in this house, my eyes are closed and I'm picturing being in that bed. I'm in that bed. And I can just, it's funny because if my eyes are closed, all of a sudden the light that's coming in from a window over here suddenly shifts and it's now coming in from over here when that makes no sense. Wow. And it's just like, oh, magic.
Yeah, you're creating, you're literally creating, you're shifting the state, you're shifting the reality, you're shifting everything.
Reality. Yeah.
It's beautiful. I forgot what I was going to say. I don't know. I was just thinking, what all can we do? Like, we are God's selves. We can do anything. There's nothing that we can't do. Like, it's just like, since we are these God's selves, since we are that powerful. We can create anything. We can literally generate anything out of thin air. Then what do we want to play with? What do we want to create? Like that becomes the question. It's not just about like, oh, I want this or I don't have this or blah, blah. It's like, what do I want to do? Like, how do I use, not use, but just literally like creating with your magic superpower that you have, like Wanda Vision.
Yeah.
What do I do? How do I play with this? And what do I want to play with? There's so many components. There's so many yummy things to play with. Oh, I love that.
And I love that things constantly come my way as if they're asking, is this what you want? Or do you want something better? And me be able to go, no, I know I can do better. And just letting it be fun. That's what's the bottom line. It's fun. It's not because I need it. It's because it just be so damn fun to do it. It's just so damn fun. Yeah. It's just like, oh my God, to have these things like $160 something. I'm like, damn, that's fun. Let's do more. It's just always fun. I was out for a walk the other day and I'm like, there's this shiny, beautiful nickel. I pick it up. I'm like, oh, money. And then just another, I don't know, like 15 minutes later, there's a dime. Oh, more money. I never find money on the ground. I'm finding money all over the place. And then I get up by my friend's house as I'm dropping her off and there's a penny and I pick it up. And these are just, I know. And I'm like going, damn, the universe is paying me to exercise. And it's paying me cash.
Oh my God. Oh, I am loving playing with this place where I'm currently at, that who I am is just magnificent. It's powerful. It's amazing. Like the person that I am, the magic that I am, the love that I am, the amazingness that I am, the awesomeness that I am. Like I'm in that zone. I'm feeling so good about who I am. I love who I am.
So you asked me earlier, where would I go at this point? Where are you going now? Where are you now from this space of such empowerment?
Like, since I am so good, since I am like this magnificent piece of creation, since I am this brilliance, like I just want to like be that brilliance. It feels like I just want to express, like it's just a block of thought. I can't think of anything else but just like let this out. Like just you have these wings, or you're flying, or whatever you are doing, you're just like out in the world and just shining this huge, as if there's something. Is there a superhero like that? No, okay, it's just me. Something that just comes from my heart, this huge energy just is like going out in the world, and it's so powerful. It's like the sun powering this whole earth. It's that kind of an energy coming out of me, and I just want to like be that, because it is me. Like I can't keep that in. This coming out, this is who I am. this is who I am. And there's no other way but just to express it and just to be it and to take it out and share it in the world. Because not because the world needs it, not because I need to do it to the world or whatever. This is just how things are. This is just how I am. This is how just my energy gets to be. This is just who I'm meant to be.
Because it's fun.
Yeah, because it's fun. The normal, natural state for me to be in is to be this supernova, to be this powerful, to be this amazing earth angel, magician, magical creature, being, whatever. I don't know what's to explain, but Sanjula. That's who I am.
Yes, you said your name in there. Thank you. That is my biggest thing right now is the saying your name. And I said it in one of my videos. I was talking about something and I kept saying, say your name, say your name. Because they were talking about the I am state, I am. And I'm like going, yeah, but who's coming up with the I am? It's you. Say your name, right? Anytime we try to shift into the God self or anything else,
I can't put my arms down. I'm sorry. I'm just like, this is Sanjula.
He's floating.
Like I need to make space for my energy coming out. Just so much.
Oh my gosh, expand. Yeah.
When they say open your arms to receive, it's like completely opposite. It's not like I'm not opening my arms to receive something. I'm the one giving this energy. I'm the one who's creating, generating this thing. So I'm just like letting that out. I don't know. Like, I'm not incomplete.
Oh, I love that.
Something. Yeah.
That's it. Oh, that was so well said. That was so perfectly said. Yeah. All this, it's like when WandaVision, when she exploded out and her entire reality changed. Her entire reality shifted and created all new neighbors and a whole new life and everything.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what, of course.
This is how I want to say.
The satellite going over India, seeing a little atomic blast coming out of your house.
Exactly. What is happening? The energy. Yeah. Well, what was missing out on this? So sorry.
Oh, you're fine. This is fun. Can you imagine this being your lowest energy?
This is me just discovering this and just being like, oh, there's something to this, or it's just like, when, as you said, when I shared with you that voice note that no one's, needing you to do that, asking you to do that. That was just the beginning of this thing, and here it is. This is the beginning. I'm just gonna move in life like this, like with her arms wide open. Walking like this, like, oh, that's Sanjula.
That's my, I just went out to lunch the other day with my girlfriend and her daughter and her granddaughter. And this granddaughter is 14 months old and she's just learned how to walk. So she loves to walk, but she walks like this. Her arms, everywhere she goes, her arms are in the air above her head. And I'm always like going, are you trying to be taller? If you fall, you got a problem, girlfriend. Put those arms down. But she everywhere she walks. And if she's trying to run, the little arms are up there. And I'm like going, oh, I can't watch. But it's so cute. And that's like you right now.
This is Sanjula. Oh my God, yeah.
Oh, huge. Yeah, you're not sleeping tonight. No sleep for you.
I'm powering like entire cities, entire worlds, entire planets,
universes,
entire solar system, entire universes. How can I sleep? I have so much energy. I'm creating, I'm generating, I'm giving life to so many things. Oh my God. In my God self. And it's just the beginning, as you said. I'm just like coming to this recognition that, oh, I am, this God self. I am this. I am Sanjula. Like, this is what it means to be Sanjula. Then, what else can we do from here? It's like,
Exactly. And to feel like nothing has changed, but then like me, to hear a recording where I'm like going, who's that? I didn't say that. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And to go, oh, I have hugely, changed, and I have no idea, because I say I've always been this way ever since. I have distinct memories as a child, always being this way. I have distinct memories of, my family, like my father just like putting me up on the stage and going, okay, you're on stage. And I'm just a little kid. You're on stage, tell us all your brilliance. Tell us how powerful we are. Tell us, go. And I have these distinct memories of just having the most wonderful childhood, having the most fantastic teenagehood, and of having just the best life ever. And it's just because I don't accept anything less. I'm non-negotiable to anything else that pops up, and just like going, yeah.
Like, I know what you're saying. I know
we are really amazing, aren't we? Aren't we just, so many.
Created everything around us. Do you hear the music in the background?
No.
I don't know if you. It's it's a song that I like a lot. Like it's a dance song. There's a wedding going on. Actually, there's a wedding venue around here, so that's why there's always some party around here in the background. So it just
Of
is
course.
like I suddenly had this recognition that I created that. I created that. I'm literally generating, like powering this reality. I like, I'm the source of this reality. I'm giving it that energy. I'm giving it the power. I'm creating this. So that's me, and that's a song I like. So of course, it's
Of
like
course.
being that. Of course, that's what's going on. Oh, I love that. It's so beyond anything. Like to be in this state or to recognize who you are is so beyond trying to manifest something, trying to whatever. It is just like, you know,
Exactly. Yeah, money. Like, oh, I want a lot of money. It feels paltry compared to this.
It feels so like off. It feels like, what are you talking? It does.
I know. It feels like, why wouldn't money be there? I don't know what you're talking about. Let's slam the door on that, because this is so much more fun. And this is so
I am abundance. Like I am the source of money. I am money. I am the creator of money. I am that powerful.
It's already built in, is what it is. This state that we're in right now, money, health, all that, it's already built in. You don't have to want it because it's already built in. You just be happy, be dancing, be joyful, be up here, and it's already all built in. It's already all.
I can't wait to meet you, Kristen, in person. I was just thinking, what a party that would be.
I'm seriously considering that Abraham cruise in October. Thinking about it. I'm seriously thinking about it. I don't know that I would want to do the Abraham part, but I could see myself in the most luxurious stateroom they have.
But if you get into the hot seat, imagine where you could take Abraham. Like,
I know.
I mean, you don't have to. I'm just saying you would anyway be enjoying yourself, and Abraham is a creation of you. But it would be like, Abraham, keep up. It would be a bit like,
gotta keep up with me. Come on.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that would be lovely.
It's funny because I would probably just tell Esther, okay, enough with the Abraham. I want you, darling. Ooh. You're the creator of Abraham. You're the one that created all this. Show me your light. Show me your brilliance. Come on, baby, raise up. Because she already she already pretty much, there's no more Abraham. I mean, when she's doing it online, she's reading the questions as Abraham. She's doing everything she never did before. It's so fun to watch the evolution, because when she first started out, she's seated, her head was moving, and this is like 30 years ago. And then she was able to do it with her eyes open, and then she moved into standing, and now, she's typing and doing all sorts of everything that Esther would do. And I'm like going, it's just one more step, honey. It's just one more step. You can do it if you want or not. But I love that that's a reflection of my evolution. It was showing me letting go of anything that was a God outside of me. And I was just like going, wow, this is so much fun.
You also channeled before, right? But then there was this I am Iram, but it was like I am Kristen.
Yes. And that's fun. I'm so glad you said that, because that's been my biggest thing recently, is telling people, stop with the I am God, because who is saying I am God? Your name, say your name. That's who's always viewing these things. That's who's always thinking of this stuff. That's who's always coming up with all this stuff. And that version will go. But what remains? Your name, say your name, Kristen. And so when you just said, I am Kristen, I was just like going, yes, there it is again. There was my evidence 7 years ago, 8 years ago, when I was so busy looking for the God that was outside of me. And it's like, no. And we even take it a step further when we're like, I'm not God. I am God, but not as Kristen. Kristen isn't the God. I am God. And it's like, no. Who's saying that? Who is saying that? I always come back to, who's saying that? Well, say your name, because there it is. Can it be that simple? Can it be that easy? There's God. Say your name. It's like, yeah.
It's really that true. That's who I am. That all of these things that we create, that this idea, like, because in the moment that you mentioned that, I realized that even I do that I speak to something, a higher version or whatever. Sometimes when I'm voicing it out, there's a dialogue, not a monologue. There is like some separation, but then the person answering back is Sanjula anyway. So it's like, what are we playing at? Like, it is.
I love that you said the person answering back is Sanjula. Yes.
Yeah. It is. Exactly.
Yeah. And remember when you were, I don't even remember what it was, but you were thinking something about the university, and I was saying you're going back and talking to the younger Sanjula. Yes. See? Yeah. It was so you good. All along.
That was so good. It was just me in every step along the way, like me talking to this, because I meant it in a different way, and I meant it in a way that someone who is like me, where I was, I'm speaking to that person, but then I said it that I'm speaking to a younger Sanjula, and you made it that thing. I was like, oh, I was like, yeah, I was like, oh yeah, that is what it is. I was speaking to myself.
Yes, take it literal.
And the younger Sanjula was listening to this Sanjula, and it's just me. It's me calling me. It's me listening to me. It's all me. It's Sanjula. It's Sanjula's world. It's Sanjula's universe. It is all me. You're Sanjula.
Yes.
With long hair.
Exactly. Love it. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that just so amazing that we do that will bring to us somebody that looks different, so that we can hear maybe a little better. Because if we're just looking at ourselves, or maybe not listening quite as deeply as we would, or whatever reason or whatever, but it's like, oh, that's me answering me. Wow.
This is all me, of course. The brilliance that I was talking about, that is you. The Kristen version of Sanjula is brilliant, and I created that, and I generated in this moment. But it's all me. Wow, I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah, and the coolest thing is the people always around me. It is me pushed out. So if I'm seeing something that I'm like, oh, we can do better than that, then I understand that that's me. Just fine tuning me, just not even fine tuning, just going, ooh, let's play house here. Let's play, more positive, more happy, more joyful, and the world. And, the world is me, and that branch out there, that's me. And, just knowing that every single version of me out there can be tweaked, can be played with, can be tinkered with, and to do it, and then to watch the evidence happening is just like, it's so much fun.
It's so fun. Like it's the curtains are me pushed out, the pillow is me pushed out, the trees outside is me pushed out, the tree that died is me pushed out, whatever died, for whatever grew is me pushed out, whatever. Like, it's all so interesting, because that's where the connection, it just feels also something like, it feels that there's a resonance, that it feels like it's not yours, but that feels like it's a connection. And that is, of course, recognizing that it's me pushed out. It's just me. This is what Sanjula looks like as curtains.
And you can change it like that. You can change it just like that. If you wanted red curtains instead,
Yeah.
And then it happens.
I'm not limited. I am everything. I can be everything. I can be anything and everything, and I can play with all. I can be any fabric. I can be any texture. I can be any color. So it's like, in this moment, this is what I am playing with. Then I can change to lace, purple, or no curtains at all. Anything, like, it's all me. That's powerful. I love that so much.
And I've watched you do it so much too. I don't think I've ever met anybody who can manifest like you. You just like, I'm doing this, and there it is.
Like, I remember, I recently remembered when I spoke to you about when I was traveling, and this idea of weathers and time and sunrise and sunset and geography and places, like it was all so, it was so whimsical, it was so fluid, it was all like, there's nothing fixed, because it felt like a fixed thing. This is sunrise, this is sunset, this is the time where it happens, and this month, this is how it feels like. And then suddenly everything was just happening at once.
It was all jumbled.
All jumbled. In winter, I was experiencing summer. I was seeing, but it just didn't make sense. Like everything was just flowing, but in the way it made sense, because that's what I was liking. That's what I wanted. That's what was fun for me. That to have sunrise at 8 a.m. and that being a winter time, but then wearing, summer clothes and enjoying myself in the sun, going in the sea and swimming in the sea, and then coming back. So being at the beach or in an island one week, and then on in the desert the next week, like it's just, and the mountains the next week, it's just like, that's me pushed out.
Yeah. And kind of imagining yourself stationary, and it's all coming to you, not you're getting in a plane and going there. It's coming to you. It's always coming to you. And you're like, beach one. I was like, oh gosh, this is the desert.
Yeah.
And then it's like, was she in the Himalayas? Where is she?
Exactly. I was here in the Himalayas. I was like, of course. And then that just made me realize in that moment how because we think that we may think that things are very rigid, like one step after the other, or time is like that. Like I recently started trying to understand time in the sense that people are like, okay, we just have, life is short, or you have to try to make most of it, or this, like all of that just feels so, I feel like we're timeless. Like in this point in time, as you and I are here, there's no concept of time. It's just this moment. It's just right here, and it's eternal. This moment is eternal. Like there's nothing like a ending or whatever. And so just this concept of time and life and days and hours and all of that just like fades away when you recognize that in this moment, like it just, this vision that comes to me, it feels like this moment stretched out to eternity. It just feels like, again, my arms wide open. It feels like so yeah. So
it really boggles. It just, well, like Cynthia, who is in the podcast I do, she's like, oh, teleport. I want to teleport. I'm all about teleporting. And I'm like, okay, well, have you ever been in an airplane? And she was just like, yeah. And I'm like, then you teleported. You just gave yourself the illusion that you walked into this tube. And I said, and then all of a sudden you walked out of the tube and you were in a completely different place. And I said, you're just using that airplane as your permission slip. But you do it. You did it. You did it. Yeah. And it's kind of a trip when you're in an airplane and you're doing that. And you're just like going, you're looking at all these people, which I call cardboard cutouts. And I'm just like, you're looking at all these people and you're just like, this is just such a trip, because you can feel it. You can feel that away of time and space. And you're just like going, oh, I'm working magic here. And when you walk the plane and you're in a completely different place, you have these moments of, wow.
I feel that so often, like in planes, of course, but also in trains. I feel like just yesterday I was in my bedroom in this place, and now I'm here. Like everything just shifted. My reality has shifted. Like how did within, like it's so interesting to see if you completely dissociated from that reality, and now you're here in this moment. And yes, you can say you traveled or you did that and everything, but it just is like, I was there yesterday and I'm just going to go to sleep and I'll be in a different city now. And it just feels so good to think about that. Like it is mind boggling when you think about it.
Yeah.
And then it makes you feel like there's so much to see in the world. Like I want to have those experiences, not experiences, but it just feels like, since we are eternal, since there's no time, since like I can see everything, I can do everything, I can go everywhere, then it just feels like, oh, what next? Like I want to see this, and then like there's someone that I follow. Her name is Catherine. Catherine Zankina. She's Manifestation Babe on Instagram, and she was recently in Egypt. And around that time, something was happening. I watched that, and I watched her stories, and there was that movie, A Murder on the Nile, and then something else
Yes.
around Egypt. There was another Marvel series which was in Egypt. I was like, oh, I want to see Egypt. Like I see everything around me coming together around Egypt. So I was like, oh, I want to see Egypt. And then someone else was somewhere else. I was like, oh, I want to see Mexico. I want to come to the US. I want to meet Kristen. I want to meet Karen. I want to meet all these beautiful people from Abraham Fan. And I want to do so much. It's like, oh, there's just endless. And I love it so much. Sometimes I feel like there's this vivid vision of being on an Australian farm, and it feels like it's from a different reality, or maybe it's an old memory, not like a past life memory, but maybe I was there, or maybe it happened. And it's like if I'm going beyond Sanjula, who was born in India, and this, because I've experienced this, there's no such thing as time really. Then sometimes I feel like this connection with US, it feels like I was there. I have been there. It feels like it's just something that I can't even put to words. It feels like something that's in my mind that it feels really good. I don't know. I'm just talking about
No,
all these
I know
things
exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've been there where it's like, oh no, wait, did I go there? I think I went there.
Yeah.
It's a completely different part of the world, but it's so cool when you just bring it back to self right here, right now. It's like nothing exists out of this right here, right now, other than what's going on in my mind. And in there, I can go anywhere and have been anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah.
And it does start blurring these lines that we call reality or memories or whatever. This does start blurring, and you're like going, wait a minute.
Like yeah. I think that's what is with God's self, because when you are, when you recognize that you are God, then all of these things start to, all the things that we thought are very rigid and, very fixed and very constant, all of that just kind of fades away. And you don't have attachment to anything like that. Like, because I've been everywhere, I am everything, I have everything, I'm being everything. So then, it's just like, oh, I can just sit here and enjoy all of it and just keep being proud. So I think that's the thing about everything just becoming like really fluid, really, it just flows.
And when you remove the cause and effect as well, that's huge. That's huge. That's just, and
it just doesn't make sense. Like it doesn't just, there's no space for that concept of cause and effect in this beingness of, who you are. It's like, what? You just are. Then there's no, because that's like really, really like slowing yourself down and coming to, as you had said earlier, like a murkier state of being, and where it would make sense, okay, you do this and then there's this effect. But when you're here, then it just is all instantaneous, and it all is.
Arms out. Yes.
Arms out, yeah.
Arms out, yeah. Yes, and that was so perfectly said. It really, and that was like that time we did the expansion contraction, meditation. It's just like that. You feel how it's like, yeah, no, I like it out here. I like it in space.
It's gonna be there. I remember Lindsay, and when she manifested, my head was like, that's her, like constantly.
I know, her little arms. I know.
In her chair, office chair, like
I know. Yeah, and then there's that memory, holding to that memory. Anytime, like when they were bringing up that she was hurt and all this pictures of her in the hospital stuff, I'm like, nope, that's not the Lindsay I see. I see that has money showing up on her porch, and oh my gosh, she was just manifesting money left and right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is. That's who she is. That's who all of us are. Like manifesting money becomes like, because you don't need money, because you are money, because you are abundant. Like there's no point of wanting money, or like you see, a nickel, you see a penny and it feels exciting because wow, something shiny and fun, but it's not
It's
like
shiny.
it's a sign of abundance coming through or something, or I have to express gratitude or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Oh,
like it's so funny. Like I remember when I read The Secret, or I don't know which one of those books where it said spend some money to receive more money, and I would do all of that, and it's
and
just
you put yourself into a state of broke.
yeah. And it feels like
Yeah,
again, it
because it can't, it just it came from a space of limitation. You got to play in limitation. It's fun. But I was thinking about how, especially nowadays, money is just a number on a screen. It means nothing. It's 2 letters or 3 letters or 5 letters or whatever on a screen, and we can base how we feel depending on those numbers. And it's like, no, you don't have to. Can you jump over that part? Can you just jump to the part to where this version of you is not limited in any way by such silly stuff, and
not limited in any way. I love that. Not limited, not being limited in any way. That's what this is. That's what this state is. Like you're unlimited. You are
completely.
It's not even limited. You are. That's it. Limited is something that is not. There's less of something. You just are. It's like,
it doesn't exist in this state.
Yeah, it doesn't exist because abundance exists. And there's no like unlimited abundance or something. It just is, I am abundance. And that's it. I don't know anything less than that.
Up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It just is getting bigger.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Right, it is that. Oh my God. I am abundant. And not I am abundant. I am.
I know.
I am.
You just say, I am. Exactly. You remove abundance. You remove all that because you just, I am. Yeah. I am. It is such a space of nothing can hurt me. I can't, why would I? Okay. So whatever. But, and then to even take your little magic eraser that erased abundance and go, I've always been this way. I've always known this. I've always thought this way. I've always been this high. I've never been able to be anything other than this. And then, wow, how that's just like this high becomes your low. And it's just like, oh my God, you can't really have a low, but it's just like, oh, it just keeps going. You can't, it's like from this certain state, I can't imagine how that would be better. It doesn't, I can't imagine. You have to literally throw this version of you down a 6-foot hole, cover up, and shift 100% into this state to understand how it can be so much better. Yeah, you have to be.
And that version of you is like, this new version is like, this is how it's always been. It's not like the better is this is the truth. And then again, it just repeats again, where it's like the better has always been like where you are now currently. You're like, I don't remember having changed. I've always been this way. There's not been a transformation. I've never been anything lesser. Yeah. But then, again, this version of you is only going to expand like after a while. So I'll miss this Kristen. This is fun, but I'm going to meet another version. I know, like.
Well, and to be able to go, I'm changing my whole life. I'm going to change my childhood. I'm going to, and you don't really see it happen. It's not like you see the parents you have right now dissolving away. Now you have new parents or anything like that. But knowing that could easily happen because I'm insisting that I had a wondrous childhood and those other states don't fit into that. So the new states of whoever it is has to come in. And maybe I think I'm the youngest of 6 and all of a sudden the next thing I know I'm the youngest of 4. And wait, no, it's always been that way. And it's just, constantly being non-negotiable. It's like, no, I have the best childhood And when somebody wants to ask me about it, it's like, yeah, and that's what the slamming door sessions is about. We only speak from our ideal. And I'm really excited for Fridays because I've invited the ladies to step up and speak from the space of hugely successful, multi-millionaire, self-made businesswomen. And that's what the whole podcast is going to be about. We're all each going to embody that state. And you could say we're channeling that version of us, whatever. You're moving into that state. And that's what this is about, is it's just like constantly embodying that space. And anytime we step off of it, somebody's slamming the door and going, "Nope, you already went to Barbados."
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that.
Oh, I love that. Will it be live or is it like recorded?
It's recorded. We've looked into podcast platforms where you can do it live. And so far we're not there yet, but it might happen. Who knows? Again, I see myself as just a guest speaker,
I'm just going to show up and things will line up. Of course.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I know. It's going to be so much fun. And what was big for me is to stand in the space of, I only interact with this, just like I did with my podcast before, where it was the Kristen Clark Unmasked. I set a standard of what I wanted on my podcast, and I found you, and and that's the way this podcast and going forward is too. You're there. It's telling me I'm down to 5% battery. No.
Okay. No, you're not. Okay, I want to ask you, how does it feel? I always wanted to ask this to, I wanted to speak to someone who is a self-made millionaire. How does it feel to be here, to have created this wealth for yourself?
It was probably the absolute best roller coaster ride I've ever experienced yet. I came into it with, I've never experienced anything like that before. Let's do that. And it just flowed from there. And it just every day, whether it has anything to do with self-made millionaire or whatever, it has to, for me, it's just even a bigger space of I'm unlimited. I can do anything. There's nothing I can't do.
Yeah.
That's it. And the cool thing about having something telling me I have this many millions of dollars is it definitely frees it's like the final nail in the coffin, of that limited, oh no, what money. It's the final tossing of the dirt, getting that one underground, dead, gone. It kind of is the permission slip that I didn't really need. I didn't need that permission slip, but it was there. And, but the coolest thing is I was so here mentally before anything on here was showing it to me, because I'm still me. I'm still, I know. And it not trying to change, letting it happen naturally. Just like when I turned from 10 to 11 years old, just like when I couldn't have forced puberty to happen. It happened when it happened, and that's, it just happens naturally. Of course you love it. You're the natural queen.
Of course. Yeah. Of course I love it. I thanks for that. That was beautiful. As I said, I really wanted to hear millionaire insights from you, because how it feels so good and natural and normal to just hear it from you. And I love how you've normalized it, that this is how it is, and there's no big deal about this.
I gotta write that down. That was well said. Millionaire insights. And it is 100% state of mind. 100%. 100%. 1000%. That's my new thing. 1000%. State of mind. State of mind. Whatever arises for you, that is the millionaire mindset. that is, whatever arises for you in the moment, and it's going to shift. It'll be completely different tomorrow. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it really involves the space you're already in right now, where money, wait, what money? I don't interact with that anymore.
It feels so much smaller than what you like, who you are and what you are, and to put it down and say money, I need money in as cash or a number, it just feels so much smaller than being a millionaire.
It's not a part of this world. It's a completely different world that's not a part of. It's just you're already there. You're already there. You're feeling it. You feel that such huge expansive possibility of anything I want, that even to think about money is like, no, that just doesn't fit here.
It doesn't. It's so small. It just is like slamming the door on that one for sure. Like, no, that just doesn't fit here.
Oh, I love this. Yay.
I'm so glad that you recorded this. I like this. So.
Me too.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm down to 2% battery.
I know, my phone also was like, hey girls, it's
winding it down.
Yeah.
Yay.
Thank you.
Honestly, I can't say this about anybody that I enjoy interacting with like I do you. It's just, I'm going to have a whole fleet of Sanjulas.
Yes, you will. Yes. And there will be the Sanjula. The Sanjula as well with you, like right here.
You'll be the original.
Yes, the original one, the OG. I'm going to be there with you in DDC, in whichever form it is, and celebrating your first million and the 10th million and then 100 million and the billion. I'm going to be there at all of those parties. I'm going to, in whichever way you celebrate it, I'm going to be there with
I'll send my plane to go pick you up.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be traveling in style.
Yes, thank you so much. Don't expect anything lesser from you. Right. I'll be happy.
Exactly.
I've played these games before, like games of shifting into state, but what we did was like genuine. For me, it was genuine listening to a millionaire. I was listening. I wanted your insights. I really wanted to like learn, how did you do it? How did you get here? How were you? Like, I wanted to soak in that millionaire energy. Self-made millionaire. So
and thank you for asking that, because it helped me too. It just really concreted what I already knew. And it's nice to be able to have that version of me channel through and say, girlfriend, it's mindset. Stop with everything else. It's nothing else. Just chill and dance and sing and have fun.
Just like from turning 10 to 11, just the most natural thing. Nothing that you had to do about it.
Yeah, nothing I had to do. It just happened naturally.
Oh, I love you so much, Kristen. This is so good. Thank you so much for this. It's so good. Thank you so much. Oh,
yes, my dear.
I love you.
All right. Well, then I will see you on the next time. I don't want to let you go, but it's forcing me to.
It's okay. It's okay. Gonna try to sleep. I don't know how it's gonna be. I'm just gonna like lie down like this and
see you lying in bed.
Exactly. Dancing and just like everything.
You just go join the wedding.
Yeah, exactly. I think let's turn on the music. Like, I have to go and start it again. Like, we have to get this party started now. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Sanjula's here. Let's get the party started.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Kristen. This is so good. I love you so much.
I love you so much, honey. Bye.